This week, we're talking about the ledger of legacy. Our lives, the who we are to ourselves in the world, is a reflection of what we say and what we do. What we say is the lens that people see us through. We anchor this impression we give others when our actions align with our words. When we do this, we actually become a rare commodity, a man who knows himself. It changes the way people see us, and it changes the way we see ourselves. Extraordinary things are available when we find this kind of alignment. Words like mission and vision come into play. Your legacy lives a life with aligned words and actions. The future becomes something you have direct access to. Small steps that you take consistently every day create seismic shifts in your future. Your legacy is what you leave behind after you are gone. See, the only thing we have control over is the time between when we're born and when we die. We are finite beings. As much as we'd like to think we might return reborn, reincarnated, or as some mystical being in another form, the only thing we can be absolutely sure of is that we have this time, and it can end at any moment. Some days on this planet can seem random and heartless. Some days on this planet can seem full, equal amounts of joy and serendipity. But all of it, all the good time, all the tough times, is all that we have as far as we know. And we have no idea when our time will end. But that doesn't stop us from acting as if we have all the time in the world. If all you have is this finite moment, what are you going to do with it? Your life will be a reflection of your words and your actions. What you say and what you do will form the core of the memories people have of you. This is critically important for us as dads and as spouses. Ask yourself this: what stories will your friends, your partner or your spouse, your kids, and people in your community tell about you when you're gone? If you died today, would you be proud of what you've created? Would you have achieved all you set out to do? What would your kids say about you? What stories would they tell their kids? See, you get to decide what your legacy is, and that is unique. Most people don't believe they get to decide their legacy. For most people, what passes as a legacy is the few halted words uttered over their gravesite by an uninspired clergy or family members who loathe public speaking. People's legacies are often a reflection of the circumstances and random events that seem to be like scattered milestones of an uninspired life. Far too many people's legacies are created as a matter of happenstance after they're gone. Little or no thought or intention of where you're going is how most people live their lives. From here, our legacy in the hands of others, circumstances, and luck. Are your kids getting the guidance and learning the lessons you want them to pass on? Will your kids believe in themselves because they see you believing in yourself? Will your kids be brave because they see bravery in your willingness to try new things and fail, to try again, to continue to expand and grow outside your comfort zone? It's time to grab the reins of your future and decide how you want to fill the space between now and the hereafter. What's next for you? What does the next level look like for you? Are you ready to break open to a whole new version of you? However you answered the previous, you're ready to write your manifesto. What's a manifesto? Contrary to popular belief, it is not the rantings of the deranged, although deranged people have written manifestos. A manifesto is a tool. It's a bright beacon on a hill. This beacon is specifically lit for you because you wrote it. It is a reminder for you where you are telling you where you are going, who you want to be, and how you want to see the world. The root of the word is manifest, which is to create from nothing. What does it mean to create something from nothing? To create something from nothing is this rare and uniquely human ability. Other creatures on the planet react to circumstances around them. They learn lessons based on experience and live life tied to what is directly around them. Humans have a capacity to see things with their imaginations, things outside their direct experience. And it is this ability to design our own lives that we can take action on in line with our imagination that sets us apart. Humans are the artists of life. However, most people live a life trapped in routines that don't serve them, feeling stuck in their circumstances and unable to step outside what they directly know. There are more than a few instances of people who, when released from captivity, were unable to leave their captivity without force. It was the reality they knew. It was the reality they had become used to. This is often true even when you're not held against your will. To create something from nothing, we must generate it. To generate is different than to build. See, to build something implies that you're making something from materials you already have around you. You gather your supplies, your tools, and your skills to construct something new. Generating something requires no materials, tools, or skills. It just takes the willingness to imagine a future you want, deciding to create it, a bit of imagination, and then the willingness to take action. No experience necessary. The Latin root for manifesto is to make clear or conspicuous. To make something clear and conspicuous sounds to me like a declaration. Or as Foghorn Leghorn always said, I do declare. The most familiar manifesto to most of us is the Declaration of Independence. This was a document that included the phrase, "We hold these truths to be self-evident." This document had high stakes when it was created. It was a guidebook for the predictably difficult times ahead. It brought together many ideas that would be the core of the way the 13 colonies moved forward. It reminded them why they were taking such a big risk. They didn't have this all tied up neatly. As a matter of fact, they were making it up as they went along. No one had done this before, and they had to create it from scratch. They used the Declaration of Independence as a way to align their future actions and words. It showed the world what they believed, what they wanted to be known for, and what could be expected of them. It reminded them who they were because there were plenty of reasons to get distracted. They had a war to fight. Each of the colonies had different values and priorities. Without the combined efforts of all the united commonwealths, defeat was inevitable. For the signers of the Declaration, there was both reward and risk. The reward was a unified and independent country with a power of self-determination. The risk? Hanging from the gallows for all signatories, plus indefinite oppressive rule by the victors. The stakes were high. We are no different as men. Writing a manifesto represents both reward and risk to us as well. There's reward. We stick our flag in the ground. We get super clear on who we are, what we believe, and where we're going in our lives. We become men who are bold in action, perspective, and decision. We have access to being decisive and passionate. We get to be those things for ourselves as a way to remind us who we are, who we want to be, and what matters most to us. there's also risk. Compared to the lives of most of the people around us, we will be going against the grain. Our forthrightness will seem off putting to some who are unaccustomed to clarity. This will lead to change, real change, not just in your habits, but in your speaking and bearing as well. This can make people close to you uncomfortable as they adjust to the new reality of you being 100% yourself. Make no mistake, this is not the easier path. See, it's easier to do the safe thing. It's easier not to speak up. It's easier not to go against the grain. It's easier to do more of the same. But if we don't step up into a declared future, we are guaranteeing that we will continue to live a life with predictable disappointment, obligation. But if we don't step up into a declared future, it will guarantee that we continue to live a life with predictable disappointment and obligation. To go somewhere we've never been, we need to create new language to guide ourselves there. Every day, we can stand firmly in the words from our manifesto. We are already standing in our future. We are just waiting for life to catch up. A manifesto is a guiding set of principles that will inform who we want to be now, that would create a better future for ourselves and our family and leave the world a better place after we're gone. What value does a manifesto provide? It's a flag in the ground. It's our mission statement. It's our vision of the future. It includes that juicy language that fires us up and gets us in motion. What fires you up?